Hey, good morning. I woke up and I was thinking of a couple things. One, I was thinking of Lizzo's song, Good as Hell, which is interesting. And the other thing I was thinking about was Grady White boats, both of which I'm not really sure what the symbols mean or why I'm thinking about them. But if this is for you and you need to hear this, or there's something unique about those songs or elements that speak to you, then, let it speak to you. What I wanted to share of mine, I'm going to I'll call her her name. Her name's Lisa, and I knew her from a long time ago, and I've got lots of friends named Lisa, so you know, and some of them aren't Facebook friends, so there you go. But my friend Lisa, I could just sense there was something up with her. And when I got to talking to her, she, just was concerned about the way things were going and kind of felt like she was on a treadmill and kind of set in certain ways. And so I think what that says to me is I think there's lots of people that feel that way, that feel that they're kind of on this treadmill, they're on this journey, and maybe they can't change the course or they can't change the path, or for some reason, if they're experiencing hardship, they feel that somehow they're supposed to be feeling hardship and experiencing hard times and difficulty. And when I go with my intuition, and my intuition told me that maybe they're putting themselves, like keeping themselves on a hook, staying hooked by something. And I think that we all can have a tendency to let past events, different interactions with people, different stories that we create in our heads, create these hooks that hold us. And maybe it was a decision that we made to not take action that put us on the hook, or maybe it was a decision that we did make that in hindsight, maybe it was not the best decision for our highest good. And instead of moving past it, we let those, the hidden expectations behind it, the decisions we make, the different relationships that we have, we hold ourselves and we put ourselves on this hook where we justify the fact that, well, we don't need to move, or yes, I'm in pain, but I need to be in pain because I did this thing, or I didn't do this thing. Excuse me. And I think that too often, in a subconscious way, when you keep yourself on a hook and you don't let yourself off the hook, that you're kind of making up excuses of staying where you're at and staying on the treadmill and not progressing forward and not loving yourself and not thinking enough of yourself or feeling that you are enough because of either a hook that you put yourself on, or maybe somebody else put you on a hook. And for some reason, you struggle to get off that hook. So what I wanted to share with you today is one exercise. I've read about it. It's been around for a while, but I just felt compelled to share this with you today. Hopefully this tip will be helpful if you're feeling stuck. And even if you're not feeling stuck, there might be somebody that you know, somebody that you love, either a friend or family member, who might benefit from this tip. And the tip is to write down an unsent letter. So what does that mean? Well, it means that in this letter that is totally private, it's all yours, you're not going to share it with anybody but yourself. So grammar, punctuation, spelling, clarity, how it looks, they do not matter. What matters is that you are creating a letter. You can send it to a pet. You can send it to a parent who's died, a child who's died, anybody that you want. Maybe you've got a challenging boss, and if you told them what you thought, you'd be fired. And so unsent letters are ways to gain clarity and serve as a means to get those emotions out. Because I think a lot of times people will stay on the hook because they don't provide a way or take a pause. I go like 100 miles an hour. I don't know if it's ADHD or what it is, and that's kind of cool, but I get a lot done. I want to help a lot of people. But a lot of people stay busy and on a treadmill, and so they never take the time to pause and reflect, to move forward, or to acknowledge what's bothering them. I think part of it too is a lot of people, and maybe you feel this way, have the sense that somehow you're supposed to be strong enough to handle everything, and that if you need help, you shouldn't have to require help, that somehow you've got to have it all together. And I'm here to tell you, nobody has it all together. We're all on the same journey, different places on the journey, but we're all in this together. And so when you take the time to write a letter that addresses concerns or interests or sorrows or joys, I mean, like, sometimes people can feel guilty about being happy. You know, maybe, I mean, I know I sent an unsent letter to my mom because I was pissed. She was trapped in her body. Let me back up. She had a couple strokes, and then after the strokes, she got exposed to like a cold virus or something that gave her cardiomyopathy. And so her heart function was kind of crappy. And she felt like she was a prisoner in her own body. And I felt powerless as this nurse that I can't help her because she's in this state, feeling very limited, feeling very frustrated, and very much a prisoner. So when she died, almost, it'll be 10 years ago in August, when she died, I needed to send her a note because I was pissed. I was pissed that she was so upset about being a prisoner in her body that she wanted to die, and she kind of, you know, brought in that energy. And I'm not blaming my mom, because everybody's on your own journey. You can't compare yourself with others. People make choices. I think I was more reacting on an emotional level because I'm her son, and who wants to hear a parent talk about, you know, hoping that they would die because they feel trapped. So I wrote this letter. I never, you know, clearly didn't send it because, you know, she's died. But in the letter, it gave me some clarity to be able to express my frustration and anger about what it's like to love somebody and lose somebody. And, you know, it was painful to write. There was some emotion behind it, but it gave me an opportunity to get it out. And I think the benefit of unsent letters is that, you know, they're not going to be Pulitzer Prize winners. You don't have to worry about how it's formed or, again, the spelling or the grammar. It's all about getting that emotion out and on paper. And it's yours to keep. But when you write the letter and you can let some of that emotion out, it doesn't live rent-free in your head. And I'm here to tell you, you don't need to let anybody, any negativity, whether it's like negative energy from an individual or the bullshit stories that maybe you make up in your head that aren't even true, but they reside rent-free in your head and they affect you emotionally. And then, of course, you know, your emotions play into like your thoughts and beliefs, and your beliefs become your actions and become your external reality. And so the more you can get out on paper, the more you can acknowledge past hurts or present joys, or write down conversations or questions with people or pets that you've had. It lets you gain clarity and let it go. They talk about catharsis, and basically all a catharsis is a release. It's a fancy word for a release. And I think If on a weekly basis, maybe you wrote an unsent letter, it might be to a situation that you're in. It could be to a point in your life. It could be a note to your younger self. It could be a note to your future self. To just gain some clarity around it and let yourself off the hook, because you deserve to be off the hook. Nobody's keeping you there. And if people are hooking you, then get rid of them. Bless and release. You know, ain't nobody got time for that. You only have one life, and there's billions of people who are waiting to hear your voice. They're waiting to hear your message. They're waiting to get clarity from you. People that you don't even know might be inspired by your stories. And if you're reluctant to be vulnerable and share them, if you are reluctant to have certain experiences or share certain experiences with people, writing an unsent letter can kind of maybe be an option for you. You know, it's not one size fits all. But when I see or hear of a tip, or when I pretty much go with my gut on what I should, like, what I feel like talking about or what I move to talk about. And I think that when you create the time to pause and write an unsent letter, it does create space, much like when you acknowledge what you're grateful for and you're living in gratitude. But when you acknowledge past hurts, or you have an awareness that, yeah, you know, this experience was not good, and maybe I deserve to have shit in my life because of this experience, which is stinking thinking, because nobody deserves any shit in their life. They just don't. It's not even a starter. It's a non-starter. You don't deserve shit in your life. There's nothing that you could do or have done that you cannot forgive yourself for and move forward. That's not how it works energetically. So if writing an unsent letter can be helpful for you, then absolutely do it. Take 10 minutes today, when you're not on your phone or you're not on your computer, or maybe before you go to bed, and just write a little note. Maybe it's a little note to tell you, your future self, you know, how much you're going to accomplish this week and how grateful you are that you're healthy. It could be a letter about a past hurt. It could be just appreciating, like, your pets, or it could be, you know, appreciating a past relationship of somebody who's died, and you're just, you know, want to write a thank you note for having them be a part of your life. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. I hope you found some value from it as you progress through the week. As always, be kind, be authentic, and be yourself. And I will talk to you soon. If you have any questions about unsent letters, or you want resources or other tools, I'm happy to help you, because that's what I'm all about, not the hokey pokey. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.